I am excited about our next guests because we don't get to do this enough, and that is talk high school sports. And that's exactly what we're doing right now, considering we have both Coach Rodney Lewis with us from Chapin High School and KJ Lewis from the Chapin Huskies. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. It's great to have you both here, and thanks for doing something we just don't normally get a chance to do enough of, and that's these Zoom calls, because we get a chance to record it, and we're going to let our listeners get a chance to watch this as we play it back after the interview. So thank you both for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, I like the setup. You've got the jersey behind you. You're masked up. You're in school right now. So, people don't realize this, but hey, when you're not coaching, you're an educator. You put a ton of time in out at Chapin. How does it feel just to be back in school and back in the classroom?
It feels great. It feels great. We're trying to get to a sense of normalcy. You always want to be around the student body. What people don't realize that these young folks are doing, competing at a high level, they're doing it without a student body present. They're doing it without parents present. I mean, we're playing in empty gyms, and these kids are competing, and it's a joy to watch. I know when I played, I couldn't imagine playing in front of an empty gym and be motivated to do my best and stuff. So to walk around the halls and to see the few kids that are here, it gives you a little pep to your step. And so it's pretty good.
And in all the years you've been as an educator and a coach, this is probably something that's so surreal. I'm sure, obviously, it's something you'll never forget. And for your players and your student athletes, they're in the exact same situation. It's a life-changing experience.
Yes, sir, it is. But we have a good group of kids here at Chapin. Our basketball program, I'm blessed to have guys who are mature above their age, and they understand, and we have lots of conversations, not only about basketball, but about life and the things that we are experiencing. And I think that my group of guys, they've handled it so well, and they're playing at a high level, and it's a joy. It's a joy to be with a group during this time. As an older guy, it's gives you something to look forward to when you see young people doing the best they can to make this work.
All things considered, how would you say the high school basketball season is going in El Paso, given the situation that you and everybody else is in right now?
To be honest, Steve, we didn't expect to be here. We've been in so many meetings. The schedules have changed. Then you look right next door in New Mexico, those kids may not play this whole year. So I think the kids of El Paso has, for the most part, done a tremendous job, boys and girls, in all high school sports, of trying to get through this. And we're asking kids to not come to school. We're asking kids to try to limit their social life. And these kids are really serious about wanting to be good for El Paso, be good for their schools, and they're doing a great job. So I take my hats off to all the kids. We haven't ran into a situation yet, knock on wood. All our kids, all our teams have been pretty much on point. We had one earlier situation with America's high school, not with their boys program, exactly, but with the school situation and our girls playing their girls, and there was some COVID stuff where we had to cancel that game. But for the most part, it's been great.
That's terrific. Again, Coach Rodney Lewis with us here, along with KJ Lewis on Sports Talk from Chapin High School. Adrian, let me send it to you. I know you got a question.
Coach, I know that it was obviously very difficult to go out and recruit, to schedule a lot of out of city teams. In fact, the UIL did not allow you guys to do that. How do you think that'll impact you guys, moving forward? I know that it's 12-0 on the year so far for your team, but just not having that out of city experience against some of these high caliber teams across Texas.
It's gonna play a role. Because you can't replace competition. I can make practice as competitive as possible, but there are some really good teams in the state in 5A, and we know that we haven't faced a team on our schedule that's going to present us challenges that we're going to see. So what we try to do is just try to mentally, I'm always coaching these guys, even if we're up by a lot. I'm always pushing our guys to always, our key theme this year is talking about mental preparation and mental focus. So when we do get faced with that first adversity, that we have guys like KJ, Manny Flores, Antoine Holmes, Mateo, Burchell, and the rest of our guys will want to step up and somebody mentally lock us in. So, I mean, we can't duplicate the talent we're going to see, but we can mentally be better for us, that when the time comes that we can be able to lock in a little bit sooner.
Now, before you tell us about KJ, and we get a chance to meet KJ here on the program, you have a great story in itself, because you came to El Paso in the early 90s and hoping to be a part of the UTEP men's basketball team at that point. And everybody remembers the 91-92 season, the Sweet 16 year. And Rodney, you had your hopes up, thinking that you could have an opportunity to be on that team for Coach Haskins.
Yeah, I had one toe in the door, Steve. I was almost in there, and the great late rest his soul, Don Haskins, because of my academic failures, told me to step off, sent me on my way, and I ended up going to a D2 in Alaska. I tell my kids this, and I just told them this right now. Everybody's journey is their journey. I was blessed to be a part of that crew. I got to play a lot of ball with those guys, and it was even though I didn't get to put on a UTEP jersey, I felt like I told you, I felt too comfortable. I felt like I was a part of the team, and I didn't get my jersey yet. So, but I was blessed to meet Coach Haskins, and blessed to be cool with the guys on that team that year. They were special.
Which assistant coach recruited you to UTEP? Was it Greg Lackey? Was it Russ Bradford? Who brought you?
Russ is the Chicago guy. He's the man. So Russ was the man, and all the guys in Chicago, we love Russ. He's a great dude.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, first time you had a chance to get to meet KJ, and this was before his time playing for you out at Chapin. Tell me the backstory and how you first came to know KJ Lewis.
Oh, I know KJ before he was born. So our story goes way back to UTEP. His mom is Monica Ramirez, one of the all-time greats of women basketball at UTEP, and we met in the union. Coach Russian was putting those girls through a lot of stuff, making them run the mountains, and Monica, being a post, didn't like all the running, and she's a stubborn lady, very competitive. And one day she came through there highly upset, and me being who I am, just reached out to her, try to calm her down, keep her head right, because she was really thinking about trying to transfer. And we just made a friendship that still lasts today. Now she's on the other end trying to keep me cool and give me advice. She's paying it forward right now. Well, I paid it forward. She's giving it back to me right now. So I knew KJ before he was born. I've been knowing him his whole life. He's like a family member to me. And it's just so ironic how much alike we are. We have a lot in common. And I have never seen a kid as competitive as KJ Lewis, but it reminds me of how competitive I am. And we have our moments where we just compete all the time, talking about each other, NBA teams and NFL teams. But I've known him his whole life. Even when he moved to Midland, I've always kept in touch with him to give him advice on how to handle himself during AAU tournaments and during the season. And I'm blessed to get this job. And when I got this job, I was blessed to know that KJ and Monica entrust KJ to come back and play basketball here for me.
What an awesome story. KJ, that's the greatest lead into an interview I've ever heard. And I love that, especially Coach talking about your mom. This is pre-KJ, before you were around. But now just hearing Coach tell you about the similarities and the two of you and what you're like on and off the court, that's got to be the ultimate compliment.
Yes, sir. It's a true blessing to be under him and under this program. it's just a lot of knowledge I inquire from him and my mother, and it's fun to be around.
Okay, so your mom plays college basketball at UTEP. They go back to their college days. When did you first pick up a basketball, and at what age did you start to realize that this could be a lot of fun? I might be able to do this someday professionally or even collegiately.
So I picked up a basketball when I was 3,
Okay.
and then when I first thought it could be a lot of fun, I want to say probably like maybe 5th grade going into 6th grade.
Okay, so you're probably
And
looking around right around 10 years old, 10, 11 years old in that range.
yes, sir.
Now, when did you start playing travel ball?
I started playing travel ball 6th grade summer.
Because people don't understand, and coach, you could probably attest to this. At that age, it's a tough grind because 6th graders aren't necessarily accustomed to traveling out of town, going to play, being seen, and continuing to refine their game. Because a lot of 6th graders are still, they're kids. So, KJ, you tell me, were you ready for all of that at that point in time? Are you more mature beyond your years, or would you say that you've really grown up a lot over the last couple of years?
Um, I think I'm kind of in the middle because at the time my mom was a high school basketball coach and my sister was a high school basketball player, so I was always in the gym with them too. And so I want to say I was right in the middle where I love to always be in the gym, but I didn't know how serious it was until probably 7th grade summer. But I was kind of in the middle, I would say.
Okay. Adrian, I know you've got a question for KJ. Let's send it to you.
KJ, I guess fast forward all the way to this season. I just want you to take us through what you had to go through in that morning when you heard the news that you were among the ESPN top 25. I mean, kind of going from where you started in AAU basketball, starting at a young age, all the way to now, starting to see really everything kind of you reap the benefits of all the work that you put into the sport.
It was exciting. It was one of my goals. I told Coach Lewis before I even came to Chapin that I wanted to be one of the best players in the nation of the class of 2023. And so seeing the list that morning was just a blessing and a humbling feeling, and knowing that most of my hard work has paid off so far.
How do you stay grounded with that? Because all of a sudden, people are putting your name up amongst the best players in the nation. So, how do you find a way to not let that get the best of you and keep yourself on track and keep yourself focused?
It's mostly my family, my mom, my sister, Coach Lewis. They're always telling me my journey is my journey. And then I'm a kid who had to work for a lot of stuff when I was younger, and so just staying close to my roots, and being a kid from Midland, which is a small town, just having a killer mindset. So just to always stay humble, which has been like my family's motto ever since I was little.
Coach, I'll send it back to you because, again, as coach, you've got to figure out a way to keep that balance going and realize that, hey, you might have one of the top players in the nation, but on the flip side, you got to keep the goal, keep him focused for the team and where you guys are at. What's that been like for you ever since really this started to explode as far as KJ's ranking?
It's been a process, but we understand. Before he even walked through the halls here at Chapin, again, his mom is one of the best friends I have in this world, and I've been knowing KJ since he was born. We've already discussed the plan. I know what I was inheriting. And the part I'm just with the basketball part is easy. He has a basketball family. His mom is a basketball mind. KJ has a high IQ. He watches film. He's prepared. My job is to just teach him that he's a brand now, and to make him understand the on the court and off the court stuff. We have deep conversations about how he should handle himself, and just to prepare him for the mental part of it. And the basketball stuff, I know once we get in between the lines, he has a switch that's incredible. And what I love about KJ this year is his leadership. Last year was a tough adjustment for him, and we just didn't gel quite well enough as a team to make a run. We ran into a couple losses that really affected us because we were not totally committed as a team. The buy-in wasn't all there, but he has totally matured this year on that as far as accepting his teammates. And that's why we're one of the big reasons why we're having a great year. The numbers are the numbers. KJ Lewis can put those numbers up anywhere in any city because he's that talented and gifted. But I'm more impressed with his maturity at his age and the way he's accepted his teammates and leading our team right now.
We can hear it. We can hear it from his answers to these questions, and I'm sure you get a chance to hear it every day when you're on the floor with him on and off the court. KJ, you tell me. It sounds to me like your goal right now is 5A state title first. You want to make sure you can take care of business and really take Chapin all the way to the top and to the title.
Yeah, sure. That's the goal. Because last year left a bitter taste in our mouths. Because honestly, we had that game won. Like you said, it was just a lack of chemistry. And this year, I feel like we're all like bought in to this goal this year, and it's like we're playing for something bigger. I feel like our team has been through a lot this past summer with the pandemic, and so I feel like we're more connected as brothers than teammates this year, and it's a real family at Chapin, and so I feel like the goal is a lot bigger, and I feel like all our eyes are set on the prize.
Absolutely. Adrian, you have another question before we get a chance to wrap things up here?
Yeah, I just want to ask you, KJ, you've got these offers that are coming in left and right. You recently earned the offer from NMSU on January 12th, but you have other offers like the Texas A&M, the TCU, obviously the UTEP offer. These offers will continue to keep coming in. When do you take a step back and kind of start evaluating some of these? And what are some of the questions that you continue to ask some of these college coaches as your recruiting process continues?
I feel like just with every offer, I take a step back because, again, I'm from such a small town and not too many kids get to be in the place I'm in. And so I take a step back from every offer, talk to my mom about it, call Coach Lewis, and just thank both of them because without both of them, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And it's just, again, trying to stay level-headed, as y'all say, and just remaining humble and working on my game every time I can.
Now, I look at the all-time great UTEP players, okay, and there's a ton of them. You can go Tim Hardaway, you can go back to Greg Foster, Antonio Davis, the 66 team, and look at Bobby Joe Hill, David Lattin, and then go all the way through the 80s where I grew up in El Paso and love those 80s players. But if there's one constant I can tell you is that all those superstars like Rodney, they came from other places. They weren't homegrown necessarily. We've had some good El Paso players play for Coach Haskins and actually do well at UTEP. But there's never really been that superstar in El Paso that's had that opportunity. You could very well be the first. If given the circumstances, what would it be like for you to potentially stay home, go to the same school your mom did, and have a chance to be that first great El Paso high school player that has the opportunity to star at UTEP?
I feel like just building a relationship with Coach Terry and the coaching staff and just getting that family vibe like I have always been growing up because I've been a family dude since I was little. And so just that family vibe, how close I get with Coach Terry and them, and it's a possibility. I wouldn't mind going to UTEP. I love the city. The city is probably one of the best cities in the United States, in my opinion, with the people who live here. They show nothing but love to me since I stepped foot in the city. And so I wouldn't mind trying to reach those limits as you said.
All I know is this, KJ, Coach, you've got this season, still a lot left to go. You have 2 more years after that with KJ. I think the fun is just beginning for Chapin basketball, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We plan on being around for a mighty long time. We have a rich history here. It started with Coach Tom Shookett, Coach Terreno Johnson, and these guys put in the time over here. These Northeast kids, they put in the time. We're blessed to have KJ drop back in on us, and we feel like we have a good team. You know, KJ is the focal point. I think our guys understand that, but we have some pretty good players as well. And we feel like that if we're locked in and we do the right things, that we can make El Paso proud, especially the Northeast.
Absolutely. We're excited about it. KJ, anything you want to leave us with before we wrap things up?
Go Huskies.
There you go. All right. KJ
Go,
Lewis, Coach Rodney Lewis, thank you both for being a part of the show. We appreciate the time and look forward to what we hope will be a great, great finish for Chapin basketball this year.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.